And right now, all new at 6, an exclusive ABC 15 investigation.
These women are alleging years of extreme racial discrimination inside the city of Phoenix. They claim the city did nothing except turn their backs on them. But top city officials deny that.
So who's right? Here's ABC 15 investigator Dave Biscobing.
It's here at the Phoenix Water Services Department, where Laura Serta and Angelica Bruner say they suffered years and years of hateful racial discrimination.
It's been hell.
Disappointment, hell.
Disappointment, hell.
I'm sorry.
And tears. New discrimination complaints just filed with the federal government. Ms. Bruner and Ms. Serta say over the years, one employee has openly and repeatedly called them this.
But your husbands are African American.
Yes.
And these women are taking their case to the feds because they also claim they repeatedly complained to the City of Phoenix management and even the City Equal Opportunity Department, only to have their complaints uniformly ignored. Even worse, they say, multiple city officials told them they didn't have a case because they were Hispanic, not black.
They just didn't help us in any which way.
It's the job of the Equal Opportunity Department, or EOD, to investigate discrimination within the city. And what these women are saying must be sensitive for Phoenix, because on the 15th floor of City Hall, we ended up sitting face to face with Don Logan, Phoenix's EOD director.
They feel like this has been swept under the rug at some level by someone and dismissed and not taken seriously. What's your response to that?
Well, the first thing, we take these matters seriously. And we investigate every aspect of a complaint that is brought to our attention.
In this July letter, the EOD department dismissed 2 complaints filed by Angelica Bruner. Why? Mr. Logan says there's a 180-day limit for complaints.
We have to vet that through, the who, the what, the when, and the where. In this case, we got nothing from this employee that would indicate that this incident occurred within that 180-day period.
If they missed the EOD deadline, records show the women certainly didn't miss reporting it to their supervisors and HR officials. ABC 15 obtained notes from a water services supervisor. They show many concerns were raised dating back years.
You see, it's been documented time and time and time again, and just nothing happened.
And Dave, obviously that's a document that hasn't been shared with me,
Okay.
so I'm not familiar with that document.
After the interview, a city spokesperson followed up saying investigators did have a copy of those documents. And Mr. Logan says since Ms. Serta and Ms. Bruner filed new complaints with the feds, the city has reopened its investigation.
So this transcends from a closed case to an open, active case.
And what makes all of this even more alarming, inside the Water Services Department, there's been another recent case of similar racist behavior.
You guys aren't the only case of this going on.
No, sir.
Records show in February 2016, a white male employee who's married to an African-American woman walked out to his assigned water services truck and found the same exact racist term written into the dust on the window.
When I did get a copy of this and I read it, I went to my office, shut the door, and I cried for about a good hour and a half.
It's clear the emotion is still raw, because watch what happens when these women talk about the promise they made 3 years ago.
We did make a promise to each other that we would fight.
We have to be the voice of the people that were never heard.
And before we could ask another question,
I'm sorry. It's just that we've stuck together this long, and it was like making a promise to, like, your sister or your kids, you know, we'll be okay, you know, and we said that every day, we will be okay.
You guys didn't know each other before all of this, huh?
Mm-mm.
This is what brought us together.
Right now, an outside attorney is doing a full review of how Phoenix handles discrimination cases. And city officials say they are reconsidering that 180-day time limit for complaints. As for the women in this story, they've hired an attorney and they're considering a lawsuit.